Welcome to the complete animation of Maid Marian from the Walt Disney Animation Studios classic animated film Robin Hood. And I mean classic. This movie is just awesome. It is perfectly paced. It's able to basically cover the entirety of the legend of Robin Hood in such a short amount of time and do it so well. There was a YouTube video put out pretty recently where a much better critic than I watched basically every Robin Hood movie ever made, and he said that this movie is still an important part of that legacy, and I believe it. This movie is just delightful. And the things that this movie does are really impressive. It it tells a bright, vibrant story, and it does it in a way that is engaging for everybody. Like coming up soon, there's the whole conversation with the kids asking Maid Marian about her relationship with Robin Hood, and they ask all the questions. It's like every awkward question you can ask about a relationship, they ask it, and it's so much more awkward now than like as a viewer than when I was like younger. I didn't really understand that. It's like, what the heck, kids? You're asking, hey, why didn't you get married? You gonna have any kids? It's like, come on, have a heart. Obviously, those questions are on, the minds of all interested parties, but come on, kids. You don't have to ask those questions. But yeah, let's talk about the design of this character, Maid Marian. She has like a really interesting thing going on with her head. It's like she has a sort of hat that is like a permanent fixture to her head that covers her ears, and then she has a cloth thing that does a pretty good job of like being a mixture between hair and other things. But when you look at it too closely, at least I do, when I look at it too closely and for too long, when I focus on the the cloth that is kind of like hair for her, it gives me sort of like semantic fatigue, but visually. It's like if you notice it too much. But yeah, I like her design. And it's interesting, she has the exact same design throughout the entire movie. Even at the very end when she's getting married, it's basically the same, only now it's all white. Yeah. Also, while editing this video, I noticed something I never noticed before. There's a bit of a an error in terms of sequences because it shows there's one scene when they're all running away from Prince John's guards, and Little John is back into his Band of Merry Men outfit. But then later on in the same scene, he goes back into his Reginald Duke of Chutney outfit. So that's just something I noticed. So I guess it's a good thing Maid Marian never really has a costume change, or else she might have an inconsistency like that. So the actor who plays Prince John, he's awesome. I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now, but the other role that I know him best in is he's Blackbeard in the Disney film Blackbeard's Ghost. And he's an awesome actor. He has this really good high-pitched voice. This bit right here where Robin Hood is saying, "Hey, let's have 6 children," and then Maid Marian says, "6? Oh, a dozen at least." I think that might be a reference, but might be referenced by the Fox and the Hound when Vixie says, "I think 6 would be just right." Just have a little bit of juxtaposition where in one movie wants a dozen and the other one wants 6. So here we are coming to the basically final bit that Maid Marian has, because let's be honest, she does basically nothing for the rest of the movie after this dance sequence. It is worth noting that these characters have only 3 fingers. They follow that rule. It's a good rule. In the film The Reluctant Dragon, which is basically it's an interesting film. Yeah, it's a really interesting film. It's a way that early Disney was able to put together a compilation of shorts, but at the same time also show off sort of behind the scenes inside the animation studio. And in there, a guy says, "Hey, I noticed that these characters all have 3 fingers. Why is that?" And he says, and the animator just straight up tells him, "It's easier to draw and it looks better." And it's true. It really is true that it looks better. Makes you kind of wonder if it would look better if humans by default only had 3 fingers. Who knows? But yeah, these dances right here, they're really good. Like, whoever animated these did a really good job of it all. And just like that, boom, we're at the end. You'll notice Maid Marian basically went to Sherwood Forest after the tournament, and then you don't see her until the wedding day. She had nothing to do with the big showdown at the castle, which is a lost opportunity if you ask me. Thanks for watching.